Hey, what's going on, guys? Bringing you another Killzone Shadowfall on PS4 commentary vid. Just turning on the mic and just gonna ramble for a bit. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna title this one. I was thinking something like Killzone Shadowfall for noobs, and you're probably saying, well, noobs. I mean, the game's been out for what, 7, 8 months now, or something like that. There's a couple of reasons. One is I'm just loving this game, and coming from a COD fanatic, as I've mentioned before, that's a pretty strong statement. I think I have like 17 days, I think, played on Ghosts, and I didn't upload any Ghost videos, mainly just because, I don't know, it's just kind of boring. And the reason why I want to do this is because I want to see more people play this, and I think one of the things that is stopping a lot of people from getting into this game is it's a little confusing when you first come into it. I think people come to this game from, you know, Call of Duty or other first-person shooters, and it takes a lot to get used to. Shout out to Fisticuffs for looking at my last video and tweeting it out and giving me some feedback on Twitter, because he loves this game too. And one of the things that in his last commentary that he did on Killzone Shadowfall on his Fist 2 channel, which I'll link in the description, is that it's a 9 out of a 10 game, but to get to that 9, it's tough, because it's basically like you're trying to mine for diamonds. It's this amazing game, tons of fun, graphically I mean, it makes Ghosts on PS4 look like an 8-bit Atari game. It's that amazing, and you might get a, you know, somewhat of a view of it on YouTube, but you know, with the compression, all that, you know, it may not look as good, but trust me, on I got a 55-inch LCD that I play on, and it is just unreal what the graphics look like. But so what I want to talk about, and what I plan to do with some maybe upcoming videos, is first thing I want to talk about is when you come over to Killzone, right? The menu system and the loadouts and everything, it's a little confusing, and that's where I think people get hung up on. You know, they want to get in the game, they want to pick a class, and they want to just start killing people. And the game is a bit different than that. A couple things off the bat. The traditional Killzone feel is not one particular game mode. You know, I'm just going to keep referring to Call of Duty because it's a good reference. You know, like we play a game of domination, it's a 5 to 10 minute game, and there's one objective. The traditional Killzone feel is going to be one long game with multiple objectives. So what I recommend for new people is to play 24-player Warzone, Classic Warzone, or Extended Warzone. So just to give you a quick overview, so let's take 24-player Warzone, okay, which is what you're looking at right now. The different game modes you have is you have Search and Destroy Attack, which is there's 2 bombs the enemy team has, and you got to blow them both up. If you only blow one up, you lose, and they win. If you blow both of them up, then you win. Search and Destroy Defend, you have 2 bombs that the enemy's trying to blow up. If they only blow up 1, you win. If they blow up 2, then you lose. Then you have Capture the Beacon, which basically at both base camps, you've got a beacon, and whoever can get 3 of the enemy's beacons back to their base wins that round. And then the last one in 24-player Warzone is a game called Connect and Capture. So basically there's a point A, B, C, D, and E, and let's say that for my team, we have A and B, and the enemy has D and E. C is the middle point. It's basically a fight for who can take over C, and then from there, you know, take over D and then E. Or on the other case, if the enemy takes C, then they're going to go for B and go for A. So it's kind of like a domination game, but with like a little bit of a twist on it, and it's a lot of fun. And Classic and Extended have maybe 3 or 4 more game modes in it, so it's really all supposed to be, the traditional feel is supposed to be a few different game modes wrapped up in one big game. So like a 24-player Warzone game could last 15 to 20 minutes. Classic Extended could last half hour, you know, to 45 minutes, you know, to an hour sometimes. I do want to steer new players away from Team Deathmatch, all right? And Team Deathmatch does have the most players in it, but the way this game works is that the spawn system isn't that once you die, you just spawn in just a random safe place. What you have is you have a base camp for your team, and the enemy has their base camp. One of the abilities, which when I do a video on support class, one of your abilities is to drop spawn beacons, which if you're from Call of Duty, it's basically attack insert, but for the whole team. So you would get your spawn beacon, you deploy it somewhere on the battlefield hidden, and then from there the rest of your team can keep spawning from that point until it wears out. When you play team deathmatch, basically it just turns into a spawn raid. So what happens is one team will get their whole team with spawn beacons right in front of the other team's base camp, and the battle ensues. And it's really not fun, and I think that alone steers people away. I know when I first started this game, you know, I went right to team deathmatch, and that's what it was. It was sitting in my base, just trying to get out of it the whole time, because we have all these guys with spawn beacons and turrets all facing our base camp, and you know, it's no fun. So if you knew, I know there's a war zone called for new recruits. I would play that because it's got objectives in it and kind of gives you the hang of it, and it's only for new people. So people that are experienced and things like that, you know, they can't get in there and kind of ruin it for you. But so yeah, I plan to just make some more videos, really just, you know, trying to break it down and make it easier for new people to get into this game. I feel like it's such a good game, truly next-gen graphics. The gameplay itself is a lot different than, you know, Call of Duty or other, you know, even Battlefield for that matter. It's not a drop shot, jump shotting, you know, quick snap-on reload, quick draw, fast sleight of hand, whatever, all that stuff. It's more of a tactical game, and you really got to pick and choose your class based on what the objective is. You know, there's a few classes. You have a support class, which they have less powerful guns, but they have these abilities to put down turrets and drones and spawn beacons and other things to really help the team win. But then you have Assault, which is the class of guys that have the best weapons. They're more of a rushing type class. You know, those are the guys that want to push forward into the objectives, while the support guys kind of not sit behind in camp, but they'll basically support them. They'll revive them, they'll put up turrets behind them, and they'll do what they can do, you know, to make sure that the Assault guys can capture their objective. Then you got your Scout class, which is your Sniper class, which I'm finally just working on now, and that is just a boatload of fun. The sniper rifles that they put in this game are a blast to use, and the abilities that you have in it are just so much fucking fun. You'll definitely dig it. So what I plan to do is just, yeah, just make some, probably my next video, I guess will be a part 2 to this. This was just kind of just an introductory video on what I plan to do. Let's do one for support. I'll probably just do a video where I actually go through how to go through the menus and classes. I know there's other videos out there that, you know, that do it also, but hey, you know, I'm totally enjoying this game. It kind of gave me a reason to get back into YouTube and have fun with it, and, you know, interact with people on, you know, the Killzone forums. I'll tell you one thing about this community. For the first time, I've never been in a multiplayer first-person shooter game where when the game ends, I hear things like, "Hey, good game, guys, good game," or "Wow, you know, you guys, you know, really had that area locked down with those blah blah blah." There's none of the shit talking. When I get, you know, done with a lobby and, you know, Call of Duty Ghosts, it's either fucking just massive shit talking, obnoxious rap music blasting in the background, or squeakers just going on. It's kind of a more of a mature game, and people, you know, that play it just seem like they're more mature. You know, there's really not much arguing and bickering and shit talking afterwards. And yeah, so that's about it, guys. So hope you don't mind my rambling. I don't have a scripted type of way of doing these videos. I just turn the mic on and just talk about, you know, what I want to do for that video. So just stay tuned. If you could please drop me a comment and a like if you enjoyed it. And I think what I'll do is the next video I'll do will be about just how to navigate the menus for the war zones, as well as create your own war zone, and as well as each different class and how to choose your loadout and what you're going to do with the abilities and unlocks and things, and how to really maximize the benefit of all those abilities, because they have a whole leveling system for abilities. So the more you use these particular abilities, the better you are with those abilities. You know, let's say, I'll just bring up one example. You have a air drone that you put out, right? When you first put it out, it doesn't really stay out there that long, and it takes a few seconds to cool off once it goes away. Maybe it takes a few seconds for it to actually deploy. But once you level it up, the more kills you get with it, you finally max it out to a point where it deploys right away, and it'll stay up in the air for the max amount of possible. And then when it goes away, it'll cool down really, really quickly, and then you can redeploy another one. So, you know, just stuff like that. So yeah, just please leave me a comment and leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks.